Hey everybody, David here, and it looks like we got some huge news coming out from San Diego Comic-Con. This one, as soon as I heard about it, I said I have to rush home right after work and do this as my first video before I go see The Lion King tonight. Here it is. Brandon Routh is returning as Superman for the Arrowverse crossover, Crisis on Infinite Earths. This is huge news. As someone who really enjoyed Superman Returns a lot, I love Superman Returns. I think it's an underrated film. It was a great tribute to the original two Superman films that came before it. Obviously, it's doing a trend. It did a trend that's starting to take effect nowadays. Like Terminator this year, Terminator Dark Fate is going to be ignoring all the Terminator movies that came after Terminator 2 Judgment Day. Superman Returns did a similar thing. It ignored everything that came after Superman 2. So Superman 3, Supergirl, the movie with Helen Slater, and Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, all ignored and brushed under the table, which was a good idea. Unfortunately, the movie didn't do as well as it should have. It did pretty well in theaters, unfortunately not as good as Warner Brothers was hoping for. Interesting note, it made more money than Batman Begins. The only reason Batman Begins was more successful is because it did even better on home video sales. I don't know how well Superman Returns did on home video. I'm going to guess not as good as Batman Begins. But still, Superman Returns, underrated film. One thing that a lot of people didn't really give crap to in the movie was Brandon Routh. Most people agreed, even people that didn't care too much for the movie, agreed that Brandon Routh was a good choice for Superman as Christopher Reeve's successor. Although some people might have felt he wasn't given enough. I disagreed. I think what he got, he did a really great job at embodying what Christopher Reeve did, but also not exactly the way Christopher Reeve played it. He played it a little bit differently. He was more of a calm and reserved Superman. So hearing this news today got me super excited, because if you watched the Elseworlds crossover from last year, we kind of, the multiple Earths, we've been getting it since Flash Season 2. Flash just finished its 5th season, going on to its 6th season. So last season, Flash, Arrow, and Supergirl had their annual crossover. Legends of Tomorrow took a back seat this season, or last season, and they were out of it. But John Wesley Shipp, who played the Flash back in the 90s, has been playing Henry Allen on the Flash ever since this Flash started. But in the last crossover event, he played Barry Allen, who, back in his 90s Flash suit, connecting the Flash 90s TV series to the Arrowverse. And as soon as that happened, a lot of people, including myself, said, well, now that they did this, the possibilities are endless on the crossovers that they can do now. And I was presuming, my theory was that we could see actors, maybe even ones that are already connected to these shows, return as previous characters that they once played. So Dean Cain could return as Superman, Helen Slater could return as Supergirl, they could get any of the Smallville cast to return as their characters. Justin Hartley, who is now on This Is Us, he could pop back in as Green Arrow if they want for this big, huge crossover that's going to be huge. So you can bet, as soon as they announce Brandon Routh as Superman coming back for this Crisis on Infinite Earths, along with Tyler Hoechlin, who's already the Superman on Supergirl, both of them coming together in this big, huge crossover. And this is just the beginning of announcements. Remember, there could be more this weekend that could be coming and we don't even know about. I am so happy about this. Brandon Routh hasn't been Superman since 2006. Wrap your head around that. It's been over 10 years since Brandon Routh got to play Superman. 13 years maybe? So the fact that we're going to actually get him back in the suit, and they did a really good replica. That suit that they had of John Wesley Shipp's Flash suit last season was a replica. They made that from the ground up. if they can replicate that, I think they can. I think that was even the test to see if they can do it. I think they are going to replicate Brandon Routh's Superman suit for this crossover event. So it's going to be really interesting. I don't know if there'll be references to their movies or shows, the actors that they might be bringing back, but this is a good sign. And this is what I wanted this crossover to be, this Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover. So, man, it's going to be a while because this crossover doesn't air until November, December, and it's going to be a 5-part crossover with all the CW DC shows, which include Arrow, The Flash, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, and the new one coming out this fall, Batwoman. So it's going to be a really cool 5-part crossover event. This has been some of the best episodes that all the shows have under their belts, so I'm looking forward to it. And now it's going to be a long ride there, man. It's going to be a long ride. But thankfully, we have so many other things to look forward to keep us occupied until we get to that moment. So it's looking good. So comment below, guys, if you are a fan of the Arrowverse. Tell me, what do you think? Are you excited to see Brandon Routh return? No pun intended to Superman Returns. Are you excited to see him back? And if you're someone that maybe is not into the Arrowverse, but you were someone that were familiar with Superman Returns, are you going to check this out just for Brandon Routh returning as that character? Because, man, I really like that movie, and I want to see him suit up again as that character. And check out all these other characters that I've been missing out on. Maybe I'll go back and rewatch all the Arrowverse. That's a lot of episodes to go through, but if you do, bravo. With that being said, I hope you guys like this video. Please subscribe to my channel, and until next time, take care.